And I said to my colleagues before now that it looks as though you had a lot on your mind while you sat there. What is it what's going on with this committee?
You see, just like what I was telling you, I said the need for institutions. The first thing I had to ask myself when I was listening to what everybody was saying, I was like, I heard a member of the House of Representatives saying that these programs, they're affecting the lives of Nigerians. And I was like, my God, you guys passed it. You see, in that committee, we did not add a single thing to it. The whole thing that is being executed, whether it is road construction, whether it is the bridges, whether it is the community health, whether it is the vocational training for the youth, they were all passed by the National Assembly. This Shaw committee was inaugurated in February, and the appropriation was done in April. We got April, May, and you can't spend a dime without it going through the National Assembly. So everything, the whole thing that came from the executive was that, okay, we expect 150 billion. And then the National Assembly said, oh no, they must be put to use. We must see what is going to be used for. And they did that breakdown. The last time I went there and I saw a senator a senator was telling us about how he felt that he should have gone for agriculture. And the next time I was like, hello, you saw this thing, you passed it.
Is it that the members of this Shaw P office or committee do not have any input whatsoever?
We don't. You see, the bottom line is I don't work in the civil service. So I'm not bound by whatever regulation, whatever civil service law of restraining me from expressing myself. So that's why I'm so happy about what I do. Now we have nothing. What happened was, after the January strike, the Congress decided that we must also now track the money. That's to ensure that, okay, this money that is coming in from subsidy gets to the CBF. And then we now have to look at the budget. They already had a budget designed for where the money is going to go to. So our own, what we had to do was to ensure that the money gets there. Because the state also gets part of the share, the local government also gets part of the share. And when this whole thing was done, it was sent to the National Assembly. So that X amount of money will go to roads and bridges, was passed by the National Assembly. X amount of money will go for maternal health care, was passed by the National Assembly. So when the National Assembly were now also asking us that, when one of the senators was telling me that we should have gone ahead to put this thing into agriculture, and I was like, hello, you passed it. So for us in the shopping committee, we don't award contracts, we have no business with it. We don't award contracts, we don't have any single input. No single input to what was appropriated by the National Assembly.
So, for instance, in that defense, the report there says, your committee said they put these monies into road rehabilitation.
Yes.
Is it the National Assembly or the executive that asked you to put these monies into road rehabilitation, or you decided?
We didn't decide. It was drawn by the executive. The executive decided that where they want the money to go, and then it was appropriated by the National Assembly. Then it became law. And then when they were not telling us, okay, why did you put this money into agriculture? And we said, that is criminal.
But one would think that your committee is supposed to, because your committee is a product of the strike.
Yes.
Now, one would think that you would know better where this money should go to in order to ease the pain of the partial removal of subsidy.
Exactly. Now, what we expected, that is what we expected. So when we got there, by the time we inaugurated in February, and we found out that by April, the executive already sent the money they were expecting. Remember, they already had this plan of taking away this subsidy sometime in October last year. So they already had their plans drawn up. So what the executive now did was, based on the fact that they couldn't get the 140-something naira they expected, and what they now had was the less amount was, they just went ahead and sent this whole thing to the National Assembly. And the National Assembly went ahead and appropriated it. So when they did all of that, what we came to do was, okay, fine. As the chairman said, what we need to do is to ensure that these funds actually goes to where it has been appropriated for. That's what we've been doing. And sometimes I went to, when we're talking, sometimes they talk about travels, I went to Oshun, Oyo, and Edo, and that was even before they even started releasing the funds. Part of the road you look at, Biniore Road now, that is becoming passable, was Shopee money.
That's the area I actually wanted us to look at, because the Shopee team, credible Nigerians, fantastic people, but now this talk about your buddy or you people spending that huge amount of monies on tours within Nigeria, I'm quite sure you were there.
Now I'm telling you now. That's
we even asked the question on Sunrise Daily, what kind of aircraft or should I say transportation you people used to have spent that huge amount within that short time?
I'm telling you categorically now, because what people were looking at was when they released the money. Releasing the money was like 4 months. We inaugurated in February. And we didn't wait till when they started releasing the money before we started moving. General Maman Katagora said, failure is not an option here. I'll tell you, TUC was responsible for my visiting Oyo, Oshun, and Edo State to look at those other roads. And when I also looked at it, I said, okay, fine, please, Secretariat, make all these things available. I'm also interested. In wanting to know, okay, how did we also expended all of this money? I know that sitting allowance is 40,000 naira. So because when you are outside, it makes it look as if something must be going on there. We are all interested in getting this thing done and making sure that it's done properly. And that brings me to the issue of committees. I've never been a fan of committees. Committee only thrives in a place whereby certain things are not going well. Now, if you look at East-West Road, there's a portion of East-West Road which shopping money is going into.
Not the entire.
No, you can't. If you talk about this East-West Road, I'll give an example. East-West Road is like, if you live in River State, it's like from Warri to One. So there's a portion of it that the shopping money will go into. One thing that I think we've not done properly was that while we were doing all of this, we didn't go out to let Nigerians know that this section of this road is shopping.